Alright, the first roulette. A180 was bored, wanted to battle and get on the YouTube some more, so I proposed we have a roulette. That way I would get to use a random team, and his only 6 guys, basically all that would happen was he would shuffle his lead off, so kind of level the playing field that way. And I'd get to use some of my new guys that I haven't got the chance to use. So he gets to start off with Harbinger, and I start off with Skull Manß, so this sucks, because Absol's about the only thing on his team that really can take Skull Manß, so I know I've got to get this thing dead, and then if I can get that thing dead, then Skull Manß will probably be okay against almost anything he throws at me. So I'm going to go over to Shadow Man, who's pretty much death fodder, who needs to be rebred and made the captain of my UU team, but whatever. So I live the first night slash, big deal. Take the second one, and I go down. If he decided to do a swords dance, I was going to confuse him with Confuse Ray, but whatever. So now I'll bring out Ballad, and Ballad's got agility, so she's not initially faster, but she's going to hang on with the sash, so that's cool. And I thought about going for the agility, but I didn't want something like Suicune or something to come in, and then I'd have to switch out, and I'd lose my agility and my sash. So I just wanted Harbinger dead, so I got what I wanted out of it, so that was fun. So now Borealis comes out, and I'm not going to be able to do much there. Thought about staying in and using Sky Uppercut, but Ballad could be some useful death fodder later. And really no reason not for me to go right back over to Skull Man to take whatever special attack he's going to throw at me. So I take an Ice Beam, and don't take too much from it. And I kind of want to get this thing burned just to get residual damage on it. But I expect to switch to something, either Gengar, Alakazam, something that's going to be good to Shadow Sneak, and I get it right. Somnium comes out, and I'm able to get off a Shadow Sneak on him, and now Somnium's in a pinch because he's going to get knocked out by the second one, so he'll probably switch out, but I don't want to take the risk of him not, so I'm going to go ahead and Shadow Sneak again, and now Torterra is going to come out, and I sneak him for not much at all. So I want to get him burned because he's primarily physical. I've got Ice Punch, but the thing's pretty bulky, and Skull Man's pretty weak on offense, so I don't think that's really going to 2-hit KO. So I get the Wisp off, which thankfully hits, and it's going to be dealing some residual damage and lessening his offensive capabilities at the same time, so that's cool. He goes for a Leech Seed, so I know at some point I'm going to have to switch out. I can't have Skull Man's health getting constantly sapped, but he's about the only thing I have to use against almost everything on his team. The rest of this team is pretty much suck, so oh well, at least I got Skull Man. So go for a nice punch, knocks him down to below half, so I can finish him off with the second one. And he knows that. He's just going to stay in, let it die. But before he does, he's going to throw up a Stealth Rock. So at least he got something out of it. And Bryn Stars goes down. And let's see, does Leech Seed work here? Apparently Leech Seed does not work if you KO the opponent's Pokemon, so that's good to know. He brings in Hyperion, who of course is going to have a burn thrown his way. I was expecting Lung just because he knows that that's what I like to do to Hyperion is burn it. But thankfully for me, he didn't carry the Lum, so that was good. Still getting hurt by Leech Seed, so that sucks. But before I leave, thankfully he did not crit on that Stone Edge. That was my hope there, so thankfully he didn't, and I was able to get off a huge Pain Split. So that was good, and now Skull Man's back up high enough that I feel pretty confident switching him out and letting the burn finish off Hyperion. So I'm going to go over to Clown Man, Mr. Mime. Unfortunately, I've got the Calm Mind Baton Passer set on this one, and it doesn't even have Psychic, so basically all that I can do is set up a Reflect, and he just decides to crit right through my Reflect, so that's fine. I want him to die in one hit anyway. But, so I will go over to Punk now. And, here I just do something stupid. I hate Return. He originally had a choice on him, so I have Frustration because it looks much cooler on a gnarly Pokemon like Rampardos. But unfortunately, I forget that I have not done anything with his friendship to get it back down low enough, so it doesn't even freaking KO. So that was just dumb, but oh well. So I'll go over to Ballad now as death fodder. It gets killed by the stealth rock, but whatever. And Hyperion's going to go down to the burn. So moving right along. I'm going to try Wave Man now. There's really no point in me setting up since Suikun's still around, but I thought about going for the agility here, but I decided to just go for a surge just to get some damage on it. But unfortunately he's hits with a focus blast, gets a crit, but I don't think he needed it. And there's my little signs that I'm going to start putting up. So now I'm going to go over to Skull Man and hit him with the sneak, maybe. He goes for the Shadow Ball, and I live, thankfully. Oh, that's right, I actually went for the Pain Split. So I lived with 11 hit points, so that was sweet. And I got up to about where I was, but I just didn't think that Shadow Sneak could 2-hit KO, and I was pretty sure he was running Sash, so I wanted to Pain Split up some damage, get back up to a decent amount, and then be able to finish him off. So that worked out cool. I'm back up above half, and now Borealis comes back in. So in the long run, I should win this just because Skull Man's got enough special defense, and I can burn it, and eventually the residual damage will kill it since he's not packing rest. But so we're on aim, and I tell him, "You're gonna get a freeze hacks, man. You're gonna get a freeze hacks," because he's contemplating running. But he doesn't. He just keeps going with the ice beam. Says it'll never work because that's the entire basis of my strategy, and even if I do, you'll unthaw immediately. So I'm just gonna keep shadow sneaking him, and he's gonna keep slinging ice beams my way, and eventually Suikun's going to die, right? It's looking pretty good for me right now. All he's got left is Gengar, who's going to get killed by the Shadow Sneak. So I sneak him now, and he slings another Ice Beam my way. And look at that! There's the freeze hacks. So I was like, I told you, man. I told you we were going to get it. And he got it. So that was lame. But so now he's going to take advantage of that. Switch out to Somnium, who can probably finish me off with a Shadow Ball, just with the stab and whatnot. And so I don't unfreeze on the first time, so I decide I'm going to save him and use Punk as maybe some death fodder. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have, just because, well, first off, I guess if I'd had Scarf, it would have been a lot better, but I've developed a little obsession with Quick Claw, so I had that on him this time. So, I don't know. But, I don't know. If I had done that, then that would have just been me winning by my own hacks instead of him winning by his own freeze hacks, so wouldn't have been that good either way. But I don't unfreeze and get killed by the Shadow Ball, so that's gonna be it. So that was a thrilling game, to say the least, and kind of mad that it ended with a freeze hacks, but I like ice, so that was cool. So catch you later. Later days.